Hi everybody and welcome to our Wednesday TNT, already the middle of the week. Yesterday a lot of overseas social media here in Thailand and of course a lot of the English media was just full of this tax story. You would have thought that the sky had fallen in, or the Thai government have told foreigners to pack up and get out of the country. People were just up in arms about these new taxes. Well, governments are going to be changing tax schemes all the time. It just happens that this one's probably going to affect some foreigners, but I can't stress this enough. We don't know the details yet. So really just calm down and just wait until these details are out. Now, a couple of the stories we'll do this morning are a bit of an analysis sort of based around those sort of thoughts. I'm also thinking about one particular YouTuber that's done 5 videos about this, really stirring up a lot of ferment about what's going on at the moment. Well, let's check some of these stories. This first story from thepatianews.com, pretty sure that Adam Judd had a lot to do with editing this, and it's a pretty good sort of quick summary. It says Thai government alters overseas income tax rules to close loopholes. I like the photo of the new Prime Minister there and his empty briefcase ready to come and grab your taxes. And the new rule aimed to tackle income equality and tax loopholes, as stated by the Prime Minister Sitharathawicin, will empower authorities to collect taxes from the foreign income of individuals who have resided in Thailand for a minimum of 180 days in the respective assessment year. According to the new order, residents who earn taxable income offshore will be subject to personal income tax, regardless of the tax year they bring such funds into Thailand or the year in which the money is earned. Previously, residents with foreign income were exempt from personal income tax if they brought the funds into Thailand in a different year from the year the income was earned. And it says the new rule now essentially closes this gap by taxing offshore income whenever it's remitted into the country. So that pretty much clarifies what we already know, given that there's so much that we don't understand at the moment. Now, a lot of the comments yesterday were circulating around the idea of what is a resident, and secondly, well, does it apply to foreigners at all? Let's see if we can discover any more analysis about those things. However, it's also caused concern among many foreign expats, even though the intention of the rules seem mainly targeted at Thais, and dual tax agreements could avert some of the impact for some foreigners. Some impact for some foreigners. I think we need to understand that everybody's situation is going to be very individual. Regardless of the intention, however, the rules could still complicate things for some foreign nationals who stay in Thailand over 180 days a year, given that that's the way a lot of people see the term resident as defined. Nevertheless, it's important to highlight that if the income from offshore sources isn't subject to taxation or falls under categories exempted from Thai personal income tax, as per the Revenue Code, residents will not be required to pay personal income tax when they bring that income into Thailand. There's also been debate on if the term resident in the new rules applies to just staying over 180 days or being a Thai national, which most seem to believe that based on current interpretation of the rules, this would be the former and not the latter. And that's the way, speaking to a couple of tax lawyers yesterday, that they defined the word resident if you do stay here more than half a year at a time. The Ministry of Finance says that they understand a lot of the growing concern around the new rules and plan to provide further clarification on them in the near future before they take effect. Well, we certainly hope so, given that this is all going to come into effect from the 1st of January next year. Now, some more coverage, and this time from ChiangMaiCityLife.com. New tax announcement causes concern for expatriates living in Thailand. Previously, overseas earnings were taxed only if they were brought into Thailand in the same year they were made. The new regulation marks a departure from this, indicating that if you've been living in Thailand for more than half of the year, your foreign income will now be subject to local tax laws, regardless of whether the money physically enters Thailand. Not exactly sure what that last line means. Let's plunge on. And an international financial planner has been quoted here, Carl Turner. He says, "It's currently unclear exactly how the new rules will affect Thailand's overseas community. We won't know until full details are revealed. I would advise anyone concerned to consult a tax advisor." Well, certainly that's what a lot of people will have to do to realign their tax situation when we know the details, exactly what's going on. Let's hope that's going to come out in the next couple of weeks. And the article finishes by saying the government's move signals a reassessment of the benefits and obligations of being part of Thailand's diverse and dynamic community. Amidst a mix of concern and speculation, it's more important than ever for expats to stay informed and consult tax professionals. And this policy change could redefine the financial feasibility and attractiveness of residing in Thailand for many. So I think the bottom line on both those articles from the Pattaya News and ChiangmaiCityLife.com is let's just wait and see what the details are. It is going to impact some of you. It's certainly not going to impact all of you. Some of you, it may be a game changer for you and you may decide to leave Thailand. But there's no use making that decision at the moment when we simply don't know the details and you don't know if it's going to affect you at this stage. So enough about tax for now, and if people want to mention things in the comment section, that's great. But let's talk about the things we know in regards to this story, rather than just getting too excited about the things we don't know at this stage. Now, there is a bit of good news around in regards to our hip pockets. And from the PattayaNews.com again, cuts to energy costs take effect this week. And electricity prices will decrease to 4.1 baht per unit from 4.4 baht, beginning with the September billing cycle. And diesel prices will also be reduced to below 30 baht per litre, and that starts September the 20th. And the government's also announced that a 3-year debt moratorium has also been enacted for farmers and small businesses. So some good news for some people there with the swings and roundabouts of this new government reassessing its financial matters. One of the things that's been good news for the government is they're selling a lot of condos. We go to this story from calsodenglish.com. Foreigners buy 24% more condominiums. Chon Buri ranks first. Code for that is Pattaya. And according to statistics from the Real Estate Information Centre, Government Housing Bank, in the first 6 months of 2023, the transfers of condominiums in Thailand by foreign clients increased by 14.7% compared to last year. And the value of these transfers also increased by 24.5% compared to last year. In other words, the cost of these condos is going up. And in the first 6 months of 2023, that's January to June, Chon Buri ranked the first with 43% share, followed by Bangkok with 37.7% share. The combined share of these two provinces alone reached 81.1%. Phuket ranked third with a measly share of 6.3%. And Chinese nationals remain the top foreign buyers, accounting for 47% of units sold, and Russians are second with 9.6%. And notably, it says in the second quarter of 2023, Burmese nationals achieved the highest average price in condos at 7 million baht per unit. Indians transferred the largest condominiums at nearly 90 square metres. And just the BangkokPost.com, their story entitled "Foreign Demand Continues to Surge in the First Half of the Year," they've got this table, and you can pause on this table and check it out, and it shows the Chinese, just in simple number of units transferred, is way ahead of the next country, which is Russians. Then we've got Americans, French, British, German, Taiwanese, Burmese, Australians and Indians. But if you go to the opposite side of that table, you've got the average area of the unit, and the Chinese, whilst buying the highest number of units, are also buying the smallest units. So that graph published by the Bangkok Post certainly shows that the condo market has zoomed back, and especially in the Chon Buri area. And before we go on today, just a big thank you to our sponsor, 5 Star Marine. As I speak, it is a beautiful day and I've got blue sky, very light winds. I'd like to head out onto Pang A Bay. Perhaps you're in Phuket at the moment or heading to the island sometime in the near future. I can highly recommend 5 Star Marine. Now, if you can't go into the link in the description and click on that special deal, just type into your Google machine 5, the number 5, 5starmarinephuket.com. That's 5starmarinephuket.com. You can check the tours and see if you'd like to make your way out to check some of those beautiful islands. Now, speaking of people arriving in Thailand, BangkokPost.com reports airport boosts staff for visa-free scheme. The Immigration Bureau will increase officer numbers at Suvarnabhumi International Airport ahead of an expected jump in tourist arrivals from China and Kazakhstan when the new visa-free policy applies next week. And approved on September the 13th and announced in the Royal Gazette yesterday, easier entry for nationals of both countries will be effective from next Monday and run until February the 29th next year. And it says the number of Chinese tourists is expected to rise sharply from 300,000 to 500,000 a month. Well, I'm not so sure if this visa-free policy is going to be quite the resounding success that a lot of the officials think. I think there's a lot more things at play that's preventing Chinese from travelling overseas, besides just saving 2,000 baht to enter Thailand. But we'll soon know. And on another aviation matter, Nok facing possible delisting from the Stock Exchange of Thailand. Nok Airways may delist from the Stock Exchange of Thailand if the low-cost carrier fails to improve its financial performance and submit its 2022 financial results within a specific time period. And Nok meets the criteria for possible delisting as the company's equity's been negative for 2 years. In addition, Nok's failed to submit its financial statements within a specified time period. The company must submit its statements by October the 2nd next year or face delisting according to the bourse. Now, I should say that this is just to do with trading in shares for Nok Airlines. It's got nothing to do about the airline continuing to fly in the immediate future. So you can, I'm sure, with some confidence, continue to fly with Nok Airlines. And just finally, we've got this story from nationthailand.com. Phetchabun's ancient town added to UNESCO's list of World Heritage Sites. And there it is, quite a magnificent structure from ancient Thailand. And Phetchabun's ancient town of Sept was added to the prestigious list of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Thailand now has 4 sites under this category: Ban Chang, Ayutthaya and Sukhothai. And this archaeological wonder, which is believed to date back 1700 years, was proposed to UNESCO in 2019. It says the remnants of the city are located on 4.7 square kilometres of land in the Sept district, about 200 kilometres northeast of Bangkok. And there's a magnificent sunset photo of the ruins of Sept, and thanks to nationthailand.com for bringing that to our attention. And thank you for watching today. I'd really appreciate it if you have time to subscribe to the channel. We've had a bumper month, adding almost 1,500 new subscribers. Perhaps you'd like to be one of those as well. We'd really appreciate it. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.